Hi, and welcome again to this latest episode of La Plata Ward 4 Video Update. This is David Jenkins, La Plata Town Council member from Ward 4, and your host for this video update, which is published on YouTube. I also have my companion, the Plata Ward 4 Update podcast. This video update or episode is about the town's strategic plan and its implementation progress since its adoption or approval by the Town Council in September of 2022. A summary of the strategic plan was posted previously on my August 26, 2022 podcast. Now, the strategic plan, along with the town's 2020 Town Comprehensive Plan, guides the alignment of each town's department's work program and aligns our fiscal resources through the town's annual fiscal year budget and our capital improvements program, our CIP. This is also a tool for community engagement. It should be transparent and available to our residents, and I do know it is posted on our new town website. There should also be an online dashboard to measure our progress. Unfortunately, this has not been done yet, and we still need to develop specific metrics for each of the goals that I will briefly discuss in this video. Again, this online dashboard is a report card to the town about how we're doing and should be part of an annual State of the Town report to you, the citizens. While again, the strategic plan was only adopted a little over a year ago, I believe it's important for you to understand our progress and what we're doing. Again, a key item not currently in the strategic plan are metrics. How do we measure our progress in implementing these goals and their action items under each goal? Now, I'll go through a series of slides where I'll talk briefly about each goal and their action items. And they're color-coded. And for instance, red means we either haven't started that or there hasn't been progress to date. The orange color means there is progress and there is activity underway to implement this action, while green is a completed action and is part of an ongoing process or procedure currently in operation in the town as a function. So let me go to our next slide, which is slide 2, if I can get to it. So these are a brief summary of each of the goals in the strategic plan. The first is good governance. The second is operational excellence. This is followed by economic prosperity, community identity, and public service readiness. Now, you can briefly see these, and again, I'll provide a link to the actual report. Each of these goals has a brief summary of what they entail. So let me first go to the first goal under good governance. So I'm going to briefly not mention all of these, but I'll briefly maybe highlight what I believe are important. And again, these are my views and opinions and not necessarily of the town itself. So you'll see that we should ensure a fair and transparent decision-making process by establishing procedures, and we'll measure these success by regularly assessing plans and policies. The town has started that process, so we're moving forward. I wouldn't give it a green yet, but it's underway. I do know, for instance, that the town is looking at our zoning ordinance and updating it to provide different items to improve our zoning efficiency. One item that I would give us a red that we're not making much progress at this time, and that is reviewing best practices to strengthen the downtown core and maintain the small town character of La Plata. I know that's a big issue with respect to all the development that's occurring in the town and around the edge of the town. So unfortunately, I don't believe we've made much progress on that. And so that's why I've indicated a red color. Let me go down to the bottom of this slide where I talk about, give it a green color where we're making progress and it's part of the process now. That is, we continue to link the comprehensive plan to staff reports and propose items for permitting and decision making. The planning department does an excellent job of linking the specific comprehensive plan goals and objectives and action items to the actual project they are reviewing, and that's contained in their very well written staff reports that are given to our town planning commission. Let's move on to the next section of good governance. You'll see that we've started but not have fully completed it. So we are analyzing our community population, our diversity efforts. We are actively working to creatively hire and attract quality candidates. We've done that based upon a staffing plan that was done several years ago by this current town council. So we've made good progress, still haven't finished it, so it's still underway. I think the last bullet in the slide, I think we do a great job on focusing on expanding the town programs for music, food, entertainment, and the arts, and recreation, so we can appeal to attract folks to our downtown. I think we do a good job of that with all the events throughout the year, as well as other activities, and also from our approved town website. Let's go to, again, another continuing slide for good governance. I think the town does do a good job, and there's a green code for regularly assess our town annual budget process and our 5-year capital improvements plan and financial forecasting. I think that's improved greatly. We get monthly reports from our finance director at our town council meetings, and she has included graphics so we can visually see or track how our budget is doing. In fact, you'll want to know that we're beginning, hard to believe this, but we're beginning our next planning for our next fiscal year budget, fiscal year 2025. And we'll start that with a strategic session on January the 30th, where we'll get information from the town on how our current budgeting is operating. And then we'll be getting the latest information from the state of what anticipated revenues we will be receiving the next fiscal year. And I do think at the bottom of this slide under good governance, I do think that we've done a great job in looking. We've done this, and that is we have an approved and interactive website. I think this is a great improvement of what was previously there. So I do a lot of compliment the staff in the town for moving that forward. There's even a button on the new town staff where you can report any violation you believe are happening in the town with respect to zoning ordinances or other activities. So I think that's a great thing. So let's move on to the next goal, operational excellence. I would give all these current action items as they're underway. We haven't completed them yet, but they're underway. So I think, again, and that's a good effort to do that. I think some of these are moving forward because during the summer, based upon this last year's budget, we actually hired, and our new hires, we hired a HR, Human Relations Director, who is doing a great job of streamlining and updating our human relations and employee procedures, as well as helping hire and retain staff. So I think that's a great benefit to the town. Still not completed, it's still underway. Again, operational excellence. Again, these are all activities that are underway. Again, I think a lot of them are new programs or new activities based upon our new HR director. So that's why I've given them an orange color. That is, we're still underway, but we are making significant progress. The next strategic goal is economic prosperity. And this is unfortunately a category where I think we have not necessarily made good progress. We have not, and you can see the two top bullets are underway or in progress, but we're not quite there yet. What I really want to focus on is, unfortunately, the red code for those 4 or 5 bullets. That is to strategically grow the geographic property and economic tax base with a balance of residential, commercial, and industrial growth. So we unfortunately have likely been focusing, for whatever reason, on residential growth, which in itself is a good thing, but I believe it needs to be balanced with more economic development for commercial, office, and industrial activity to balance out our tax base. Residential services require a lot more and public services, whereas the commercial industrial uses require significantly less services but provide needed tax revenues. So I think, and all in all, we have not made very good progress on that, but I hope we will be able to address that with coming changes to our zoning ordinance. Let's continue again with our economic prosperity. Again, these are all, I believe, we have not made significant progress. Specifically, create a dynamic mixed-use downtown area that's inviting to businesses, residents, and visitors. So we can demonstrate for folks so they can do a public investment or businesses can invest in our downtown. And to encourage a high-tech and light manufacturing industry located in the La Plata area. So I don't think we've done a very good job of that yet. I think that could be changing shortly with the development of Pine Grove. They have two larger parcels on the north side of Rosewick Road that are planned for industrial, commercials, and office uses. So I'm hopeful that they will begin to attract businesses and new employees, but as an economic base to offset our residential growth with respect to tax revenues and services. And I would support, as I said in the second to last bullet, I would support that we define and structure an economic development activity within our town government, and also that we provide funding for that function. I think that's sorely needed. I believe that we're at a population base of over 10,000 where we need to seriously look at that to support the expansion of our existing businesses as well as new business opportunities in the town to help our infrastructure and our tax base. The next strategic goal is community identity. These are all works in progress. That's why you see the orange coloring. So we're beginning to do all these things in terms of, and we pick out a couple. We're looking at different regulations, and we've done this to improve our environmental resources by maintaining policies to protect forests, open space, and wildlife. We have forest conservation regulations. We're also looking at new potential changes to our zoning ordinances in terms of permitted uses, but also to promote walkability, sustainability, and environmental protection. We're also looking, and it hasn't been completed yet, looking to enter information and data on the town's Geographic Information Computer System, GIS. So that'll help us track these components of the town. And also, this all helps us to attract tourism and visitors to come and shop and live in La Plata. But again, this is all work in progress. Again, continue with community identity. We continue to improve and offer program and events to attract folks to the town for events for our citizens. We still have not necessarily completed or finished in terms of more opportunities for public engagement by social media. I know we have improved our website, but my own personal view is that we probably need to do more for more public engagement, whether we do different town hall type meetings or more social media or a more interactive website. So again, I think these are underway, but in my view, we need to do more of these to keep you, the citizens, informed about your government and what we're doing. The next strategic goal is public service readiness. You'll see up top, this is important, and I give it a green because it's currently underway. So we are tracking water access or water availability. So there is the town of La Plata, through our planning department and our operations public works department, have developed a development capacity tracking spreadsheet. So we're tracking all development and their demands on our public services, specifically water and traffic. And the planning department, in cooperation or working with our planning commission, are developing an adequate public facilities ordinance. Unfortunately, there's an orange coding for the next bullet. Secure adequate water appropriations through working with the state of Maryland, since they control the water permits for groundwater appropriate and the state. This is still underway, and unfortunately, we've still working with the county and the state to move that process forward. I hope this can be moved forward with the town and the state of Maryland. Again, this has not been a whole lot of progress to date, but hopefully this will move forward shortly. The next bullet, you'll see an annual review and update of our capital improvement plan. We've done a good job of tracking that and linking our capital improvements plan to our comp plan, as well as the efficient use of American Rescue Plan, or ARPA, federal money. So we're doing a good job, and that's underway. One thing that's really important, I believe you'll see toward the bottom, is the bullet, create a Citizens Academy to explain municipal services through direct interaction. The council members as well as staff have been attending the Maryland Municipal League's annual conferences. And in fact, we have several examples of citizen academies in other communities in Maryland. So we hope to get some best practices, and perhaps we can develop that here in the town for a citizens academy, so you understand how town government works. At the bottom, you'll see in green, so we're making good progress in this part of our process now, where we annually review a major facility fee, which is a fee charged to development where they have an impact on our water, sewer, or stormwater management system, and where they have to pay their fair share for any upgrades, or if it's a new facility or expansion, they are charged for that. So we've done a good job of doing an annual evaluation, so we have a fair and honest fee for developers that they need to provide support when they demand services from the town. And it's also, again, it's part of an annual assessment of the fee as part of our overall budgeting process. So again, this is somewhat a very brief visual of the town's strategic plan. And so I hope to provide some additional updates later this year, or maybe early next year, to see how we're making progress. So I again thank you for watching these videos, and I also thank you for paying attention or listening to my podcast. You'll see in this slide there's a reference or a link to my podcast, as well as a link to the videos on YouTube. So my ask is, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to email me at djenkins@townoflaplata.org. My additional ask is for you to pay attention to your town and what we do. Please attend our town council meetings, either in person or we have a hybrid, so you can attend online, or if you can't do that, they are taped and available on YouTube for later view. So I think it's important to have this kind of a citizen engagement. It's all part of our community and your communities to be successful. Thanks again, and I hope you have a great new year. Thank you.